Hey everyone, it's Jamie from Independent Street NOLA and Seasons and Ritual, and I'm here with my good friend Helen, the Crimson Cadaverous.
Hi.
And we are here to bring you
My microphone out.
our astrology weekly astro chat for the week of 6/19 to 6/25.
Yes.
And let's just go ahead and do the spoiler alert on Wednesday.
Yes.
Okay, it will be the summer solstice.
Summer. Yay.
So before we get into the whole week, let's just kind of go over who has gone retrograde.
Yes. So yesterday, right before we had the new moon peak, we had Saturn station retrograde, which, Saturn is the great teacher. So, whatever lessons we need to learn, whatever boundaries we need to place, whatever foundations need to, be kind of reconfigured.
Right.
We're going to be contemplating those things during this retrograde.
And how long is our sweet Saturn retrograde for?
Till November.
And he is retrograde in
Pisces.
Yes.
And we'll actually go till almost the beginning of Pisces, like gets real close to Aquarius.
Isn't that wild? He's retrograde for so long.
Yes.
So
the outer planets do that. They retrograde for longer.
Also, I feel like when Saturn retrogrades, at the beginning when they station like either retrograde or stations forward, that's when we feel those changes. But once they get into that retrograde energy, it's almost, you're going to learn the same lesson as if it was moving forward.
Yes, yes.
So don't let the retrograde part stress you out.
No, and honestly, think about it as a time truly to reflect. Like it is giving us time, things are slowing down, especially when Saturn stations. He's kind of just stopped for a few days before he starts going, appearing to go backwards. But that's almost giving us a clue of it's a time for us to kind of pause within that energy.
So June, July, August, September, October,
November. So almost 6 months. Yeah.
Six months to kind of regather, reform, clean stuff out. I think that's nice.
Yeah, it is really nice. And it's we got to also remember that, and it's interesting because the other planet that I say this about is also stationed retrograde right now, Pluto. But I always say Pluto wants what's best for us.
Yeah.
But Saturn wants that too.
Right.
He is, he's Sky Daddy. He's making sure we do our homework before we go out and play.
Sky Daddy on Father's Day.
Right,
okay,
Sky Daddy on Father's Day.
Yeah.
But he does that so that we can have those solid foundations, so we can show up better for ourselves. And so same thing with Pluto, whatever Pluto's asking of us, it's just so that we're able to be a higher octave of ourselves, really.
Right.
So even if it feels challenging,
but it's time to it's time to get your quote unquote house in order. That's how I feel. Now we don't have, even if we were to make excuses or things like that, now it's no, we're really going to get this in order.
Yeah, it's definitely, I kind of see it as almost like a reality check.
Yeah.
The things that maybe, again, and this is why I think it was interesting because Neptune was squaring this new moon, which adds a little bit of fogginess.
Right, and the new moon peaked on Saturday.
Yes,
Saturday. And we're filming this on Sunday.
Yes. Yeah. So peaked last night from when we're filming it, about 12 hours after that Saturn retrograde. But same day, same energy. And, I think with both of those planets, Saturn and Pluto there, we have, we just have some lessons that we need to contemplate and put into place so that we can be, higher versions of ourselves.
I agree. I also think it could come into this idea too of things that keep coming up, and we're I'm not going to do that. Things that coming up, and you're okay, I'm ready just to. That storyline is exhausting. It never changes. Okay, well, how can I work on myself to just get out of that storyline? And so
that's that reality check.
Yeah, and also with businesses or personal finances, things like that. Where you're I really want to. I know, speaking from experience, this is a summer of me getting my shit together.
Yeah, it's definitely the get your shit together kind of energy.
Yeah, and but it's not in a mean way.
No,
but it's really just okay, if you keep doing this, that keeps happening.
The whole the insanity of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Saturn's here to bring the sanity to things. He really is. Saturn especially is here to bring sanity.
And the fact that he's in the sign of the mystic, I think is really beautiful.
Right.
Right. It does, because it brings in I'm going to say it brings in more magic to this whole idea, and it really keeps things lighter where they could seem hopeless at one point. Like I really feel like it brings in some magic and a little bit of lift where people would need it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I think, it kind of also connects that bridge between like the super, super tangible things and the super intangible things.
Right. Which goes back, go ahead.
I was just going to say, because again, Saturn is, in the Pisces.
And I was going to say, which goes back to this idea that we were talking about, the dark moon in Gemini, and how Gemini can be both intangible and tangible at the same time. Like, it just is for this. Why isn't it for that? Who cares? I don't know. It works this way. It doesn't. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was going through that as well. Like, I was like, I can't remember exactly what I was thinking about, but I was like, okay, well, in this situation, these words worked, this thing worked, but when I was trying to apply it to another situation, it didn't work. Yeah. And then I finally was like, let it go, Jamie.
Yeah.
Like, you either don't need to think about this, or you just need to keep looking at what worked, but that's not yours to figure it out over there, so let it go.
There's almost like a little level of like distillation that needs to happen with this retrograde, where it's like, all right, what doesn't, what's clogging up the mind, what is fogging things?
Right,
like,
why not keep following the breadcrumbs that do work, and then notice, oh, it didn't work over there, there's a reason, okay. Like, if it's not life or death over here, I didn't need to keep wasting my time going over, well, why didn't it work?
Right.
Does that mean it really shouldn't have worked over here? And the answer is no, it should have worked right there. That's why it effing worked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's the lessons of Saturn.
Thank you. And our sweet, sweet Gemini. Okay, so thank you for talking about Saturn with me.
Oh, no, I'm glad you brought that up, because I feel like it's still, we've
in
got that energy and need to talk about it.
6 months to go with it. And also we were talking about, like you and I, at the beginning, off camera, we were talking about, we're not exactly emotional, but we can definitely feel things are shifting.
Oh, yeah.
So when these big planets like Saturn goes retrograde, it does affect us. And the fact that we are changing seasons into summer, those are real. These things are real.
Lots of shifting going on. Sedna just moved signs. She moved into Gemini,
right.
which is interesting, right before, the Gemini new moon. So.
And how long is she there for?
She's going to be there on and off.
Till we die.
She's going to go kind of back and forth a little bit in retrograde for a couple years, but on and off, she'll be there for like, oh God, I think like 40, 50 years, something like that, which is short for her.
Yeah.
Because she's real close to the Earth and the Sun right now.
So it could be, depending on how long we live. So, but also with Sedna and going into the depths, we talked about that, but also like letting things go. But really, I do feel like all this is really bringing things up that we just really need to pay attention to.
Yes, absolutely.
And it doesn't need to be super fucking dramatic. Okay, you guys?
No. It can just be a thing.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can make it dramatic.
Yes.
But you can also just feel like it's really just time to like get to the bottom of this and move on with my life.
Yeah, for real.
And sometimes if moving on with your life is just realizing this has not worked. Let's move on with our lives. Okay. For reals, we're really going to start the week. Okay, Monday, Moon in Cancer. Okay, so Monday the 19th, you guys, Moon will be in Cancer, sextiling Uranus, who's still in Taurus.
Yes.
But squaring Chiron, who is still in Aries.
Yes.
So this is some water hitting some earth and some fire.
Yes. And we're kind of clearing out old wounds, but we're doing it kind of differently. We're seeing things differently. We're, healing differently.
Because Jupiter and Taurus will sextile Saturn and Pisces, right?
Yes.
And this will bring in balance. When Jupiter, you want your Jupiter and Saturn in balance, basically. But go ahead.
Yes. So it's definitely a very harmonious aspect that we have there that is meant to kind of balance out between the expansion energies of Jupiter, and the retracting energies of Saturn.
Right. The boundaries of Saturn. However you want. I was trying to do a box, but whatever.
Yes. So and I think that's definitely something that we're going to want to kind of tap into that energy and just kind of like be like just almost like allow it.
Yep, and allow it to come in to change you for the better. Change us for the better. Okay, understand that we'll start showing up differently. We will start to see what boundaries look like differently. We might have been setting new boundaries.
Yeah.
So that moon in Cancer, which is the home, sextiling Uranus, which is the revolution, baby, right?
Yes.
So it's like that your home is getting reworked here in Taurus, which is practical, which is Earth, right? And it's squaring Chiron in Aries, which could be like, it might hurt your feelings, like that you're going to initiate this. Or you might think you're hurting other people's feelings because you're going to initiate this new sense of self.
Yeah.
But that Jupiter in Taurus sextiling Saturn Pisces is going to be like, you got this.
Yep.
You got this. It's time for more balance.
Yes, definitely time for more balance. And I think it's right on time because, again, we're coming into the solstice.
Yeah.
We're coming out of a time of major shift.
Yeah. Okay, so Tuesday, the moon will be in the Cancer in the beginning, and then we'll move into Leo later in the day.
Yes, and like the major thing with that is that we will end up having an opposition with Pluto and a square with Eris, and then also the North Node with the moon. So we've got this kind of T-square thing going on, which with that, of course, it's a challenge, it's a tension that's, pushing us to make a change, do something different, view something differently.
Maybe hold that ground.
Yes.
Yeah.
And especially with Pluto being there, it's almost like, Pluto's kind of like excavating something for us to kind of look at and go, all right, we got to do this differently.
Because remember, Pluto is in that 30th degree of Capricorn. It just moved back in. It's retrograde. Back into Cappy. So we've been in that energy before, but this is really saying, okay, well, if you're showing up differently in your, what does this look like now?
Yeah.
It could be like, oh no. Or it could be like, oh, I'm ready. Okay. Either way.
Well, and I think we're going to be ready because, again, the square with Eris and the North Node, like Eris removes what needs to be removed.
I know,
so
it's just shaking that tambourine.
Whatever. And the North Node is the direction we need to be moving in. So it's like, it's just, we're taking out what needs to be taken out.
Yeah. And so when the moon moves into Leo, Mars will be conjunct Lilith.
Yes.
Because Lilith is in Leo.
Yes.
And Mars is in Leo.
Yes.
So that's a lot of
Leo energy.
Yeah.
Yes, and I like Mars conjunct Lilith because, like, Lilith is the liberator and Mars is power. So it's like the power to liberate ourselves.
Yeah, we talked about it off camera before we came on that you were saying all the goddess energy.
Oh, yes.
All the
yes, we start having the planetoids that are named after goddesses.
Planetoids.
So the dwarf planets and the asteroids. So we've got Ceres moving into Libra on Wednesday. We've got Juno entering Cancer on Thursday, as well as Vesta entering Gemini on Thursday.
Okay, so with that, let us get into Wednesday.
Yes.
Well, before, sorry. Do you want to talk about the sun will be conjunct Juno?
Yeah, because I think
and Gemini on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's actually a really powerful energy as well because Juno is partnerships, commitment, how we commit to things and like show up for things.
Yeah.
And then the sun, of course, is our true self, how we shine.
Right.
So it's almost
Solar
like
plexus.
committing to shining authentically.
Yeah.
And again, like we've got the liberator, the power to liberate ourselves from inauthenticity, basically.
Yeah.
That's how I read that.
Okay, I like it. I feel it too, just with like what's going on in my life and also what's just going on in the world.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
Okay, so Wednesday is the summer solstice.
Yes.
We celebrate midsummer.
Yes, here in the Northern Hemisphere.
Yes. Which is so magical in itself. Also, it's really funny too. We were talking about that we are in the middle of a heat wave right now.
Oh my god!
And the heat wave breaks on Wednesday when we actually move into summer.
Yeah. What does that mean?
I don't know, friend. Yeah. Okay, so Wednesday, the summer solstice.
Yes.
That's when we have equal time.
Yes. So, or no, that is when we have the longest light.
Longest light. Sorry.
That's the equinox.
Sorry, my bad. It's a good thing I study astrology.
But so it's the most light.
Most light for the day.
Yes. And so what's interesting though is with it being the quote unquote longest day of the year, we actually have shorter and shorter light days.
Yep, the stars going back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is actually the road to winter. It sounds kind of weird, but like so if it's like really, really hot where you're at, we're on our way to winter.
All right. So it's just a good reminder to stay really present with each day. Especially as we welcome the longest day, welcome that sun. Re-energize your solar plexus. sit with yourself maybe and think about who am I now, since we start talking about our authentic, showing up more authentically.
Yeah.
Because this moon in Leo will be conjunct Venus.
Yes.
And so that's a lot of love, because Venus is in Leo, correct?
Feeling our self-worth.
Yep. And it'll be square Jupiter and Taurus. So again, it's not going to make us, it's going to keep us grounded in this idea of authentic self and not ego.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of ego being taken down a notch. A lot of lower ego.
Yeah, the lower ego, especially. Where, it's like almost like kind of reconnecting with the Leo energy, the higher octave of like love.
Yeah, yeah.
That like I think a lot of times kind of gets forgotten in the like, Leo's like, look at me.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we can raise higher than that.
Yeah. And Leo is really, it is you're Leo, very loving. Okay, on that same day, as you said, Sirius enters Libra.
Yes.
So that's bringing more balance.
Yeah, balance in how we nurture and restore ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like finding a way of like, we can't obviously spend all day, every day nurturing ourselves or, doing things for ourselves, but making sure that we find a nice balance with that.
And I think too, like really noticing with that Moon in Leo conjunct Venus, like where do we want to put our squaring Jupiter and Taurus, to me is like also saying, where do we want to put our energy?
Yeah.
And so Sirius entering Libra, which brings in that balance, is like, okay, where do I want to balance my energy? And what things do I want to do? Instead of saying like, I've got to do a little bit everywhere, maybe that changes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Mercury and Gemini will sextile Mars and Leo.
Yes.
That's good combo.
Oh yeah, that's like a strong mind.
Yeah. I feel like it's like a lot of like handsome energy with good conversation.
Yep, exactly. And I think like if we're trying to move something forward, that is a good day to do it. Mm-hmm. For a multitude of reasons.
We got more light.
Yeah, exactly. You got more light. You got the moon in Leo. It's kind of taking charge, being courageous.
I'm going to check in with you. Be like, what you doing today?
I'm probably going to go to the forest.
Okay. So. That's
I'll hopefully spend a little bit more time this time.
Okay. Instead of dehydrating yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, Thursday, Moon in Leo.
Yes.
All day.
Yes. So that is going to form a conjunction with this whole, Leo party that we have going on between Lilith, Mars, and Pallas Athena. Mm-hmm. So the day before Wednesday, we had conjunction with Venus in Leo. Mm-hmm. We're continuing, of course, with Lilith, Mars, and Pallas Athena.
They're all in Leo.
Yes.
And we were talking about off camera too, like where I was like, remember when I was like, where's the fire? Oh, honey, it showed up.
Oh, it's here. We definitely got some fire.
Yeah. Yep. And Pallas Athena is Minerva, correct?
Yes.
Goddess of war.
Yeah, she helps us like kind of strategize how we like, take on whatever task we're taking on.
She's also arts. She's also creation, like stuff like that. So that's a lot of beautiful, like goddess energy in Leo, who is ruled by the sun.
Yeah.
Okay. What else would you like to say about Thursday?
I think basically we probably covered everything. That's square with Uranus. I like that because I think it's, again, challenging us to do things differently.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we need.
Yeah.
I think this is like one of those things where it's like, if you're not on the train of progress.
Right.
If
this really isn't practical, like then you got to do something differently.
Right.
Yeah. Juno will enter Cancer that day.
Yes.
And Vesta will enter Sweet Gemini, and so that's what you're talking about, those other planetoids, what'd you call them?
Yeah, planetoids.
Okay, planetoids.
Yes.
Wow. We should start a band called that.
Yeah, planetoids.
Okay, Friday? Oh, yes, go ahead.
Yeah, so that definitely a lot of like goddess energy kind of shifting, which I feel like that's almost like kind of our goddess energy rising up.
I like it too, and showing up differently. Like, what does the goddess look like now?
Yeah,
as opposed to what we were told they should look like.
Yes.
All right,
like sitting on a pedestal or something.
Yeah, getting fanned with the large feather and or palm.
Whatever they did back then.
Yeah. It's rewriting that story of them just like being jealous and like, they're more complex than that. Friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like the last of probably their worries. Okay, so Friday, Moon will still be in Leo. I feel like the Moon is in Leo, does not want to leave.
That's okay. I'm good with that.
I know, it's your time to shine.
Yes.
Okay, but then it will finally move into Virgo on Friday.
Yes.
Okay. Once it moves into Virgo, the Great Resolver.
Yep.
What's going to happen?
Sextile with the Sun and Juno.
Okay, so we're going to get some shit done.
Yes. So those things that we've kind of been committing to throughout the week, it's just going to be easy for us to, keep kind of locking that in.
Okay.
Trying with the North Node and Jupiter, it's almost like, we feel enthusiastic about moving in the direction that feels right for us.
Yeah, and also, quick note: these nodes, North Node, South Node, nodes of fate, are in they're in their final degrees.
Yes.
So things should be a lot easier with this storyline.
Yes.
And they're about to move, right, in July.
Yes.
Okay, so so right now they're around 2 or 1 degrees each. So when they're trining North Node and the thing in Scorpio, it's going to be a lot easier. So this North Node and Jupiter, trining North Node and Jupiter and Taurus, it's going to be like, okay, I'm starting to get this now. Now I see a way through.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And I like that you mentioned the way through, because that was like something that actually came through for me recently. Like with this energy, like almost like how do you get like over it? And it's like it's not about getting over it; it's getting through it.
Okay, I like that. The Sun in Cancer will sextile. It's a new word. I just made it up. The Sun in Cancer will sextile the North Node in Taurus. Okay.
Yes. And so again, I almost feel like that's like the sun kind of shining a light on the correct path.
Yeah, because
go here.
We didn't say summer solstice 21st. That's Cancer season. We move into Cancer season.
Yes.
God damn it. Sorry about that, guys. This is a great video today. Okay, the 24th, the moon will be in Virgo.
Yes.
Quiet day.
Very quiet day, actually. There's not any major planetary aspects on that day.
Saturday, we got a lot going on this week, so Saturday is a good day to resolve, get things done.
Right, especially Virgo, that's perfect.
Yeah.
We can get organized, we can make to-do lists,
yeah.
We can clean up, all the things, get to work, basically.
Yeah, listen to that intuition. How am I going to resolve this? Listen to your intuition. Okay, Sunday, the moon will still be in Virgo.
Yes.
Squaring Mercury and Gemini.
Yes. Opposite Neptune, so we're creating a T-square there. And to me, that T-square, because again, it's with Mercury and Neptune involved, so it's kind of the rational mind and the dreamy mind.
Yeah.
Almost kind of challenging us to find a balance between the two.
And also, I think challenging us to understand that things may show up that are going to work out much better than we ever imagined.
Yes.
Allow yourself, you guys, to be open to a new storyline.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that especially because of the trine with Uranus and Taurus and Pluto and Capricorn. Because we want to, again, both of those, planets tend to, add a little bit of upheaval.
Yeah.
But it's a trine, it's harmonious. It's oh, yes. I want this upheaval. I want it to kind of
I hope everyone's going, I'm
somebody that gets excited about the Tower card.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I know
and
that's
Pluto.
scary.
Yeah.
But, I get very excited about Pluto because he's the one who moves us in big ways.
So you guys.
Lifetime ways.
Yeah. So give yourself permission to just change, Give yourself permission to move. Allow yourself to be okay, we resolved this. So, oh God, I can write a new story? Okay, let's do it. Or see where I want my story to go.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like I kind of zoned out there. So wait, Moon and Virgo, did we talk about, okay, then it will move into Libra.
Yes.
Okay.
And then
we bring some balance.
Yeah,
okay.
We definitely got that great time, or way to end of the week. But we also, it's interesting because I can't remember what you just said, but Mercury starting, I know, right? Oh no, starting a new story.
Okay,
because Mercury squaring Neptune. And it's almost dreaming big enough, challenging ourselves to dream big enough to write a new story. To
I love that.
Truly write a new story.
Yeah.
Instead of just fixing the old story,
right.
Erasing one word and putting something new in. Actually write a new story, because I feel like all this adjusting, we've been adjusting for a reason so that we can walk a different path.
Yeah.
But we need a new story to walk that path on.
I love that. Okay, we're going to end it there because that's just so beautiful. Resonates. Okay, so if you'd like to get in touch with me or Helen, you can reach us on Instagram, YouTube or my website. Also, you can schedule to get a reading with Helen either through her personally or through Medusa's Lair, which you can find on Instagram, and same with me. Heidi and I are going to be doing a workshop Thursday and Friday of this coming week. If you have questions about that, feel free just to reach out through email, either Instagram or through the websites. Okay, friend, here we go. Happy summer solstice a few days early.
Happy summer, yeah. I mean, I feel like it definitely feels like it's already summer. So maybe summer in the sun, but.
Waiting for this heat wave to break.
Yes. Yeah. Feels like an oven.
It does. Blast furnace. Okay, friends, we will see you next week. Hopefully it'll be cooler.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.